welcome back to another episode of Love and Gratitude. How are you? How do you feel? I hope you feel great because I do feel great. And but yesterday I wasn't feeling good at all because I had a crisis, and it's normal because sometimes it happens and everyone has a crisis once a year, once a month, whatever, once a week. If it's not every day, then it's completely fine because yesterday the weather was horrible. It was crazy, and there was this heaviness. It was very, it was crazy, and especially today the weather is also crazy. Like, once it's raining super heavy, and then the next second the sun is shining super shiny, super hot, and then the next second it's rainy again. It's like crazy, and it's like the weather in May, but it's summer, so which I don't understand, but it's nature, so you should never question the nature because nature is beautiful, and you just have to accept. And I must tell that I am going through a lot of struggles in these weeks because of exams, because of work, because of family and friends and everything. But I think that you might also have some struggles right now in your life, and so having a bad situation, having a bad moment, and having a crisis is totally normal, so you're not alone. Also, today I received flowers, as you can see on the back, and today I chose to wear something green. And by the way, this is new. I love this. Look, it's beautiful. I love this color. It's like lime green, and I think this color fits me so well. But actually, every color fits me so well. And yeah, because I'm so pretty and I'm so beautiful, and everything fits me so well. Okay, not everything, but I know what fits me, so that's why I choose to buy some certain things and some things not, because I like buying timeless stuff because I like to invest in my clothes and invest in myself. But investments for a long time, so I can keep it for a long time. So it's more sustainable because I am studying sustainability actually. So coming back to struggles, I don't know how the situation is with you right now, but I must tell you that it's totally normal, okay? But for me, sometimes I can't control it, but okay, I'm a woman, so women have, hormones, and women have different emotions, and we feel the things on a different level. And that's why, you have to understand that I feel and especially me, I'm super emotional, I'm super, super sensitive. And that's why I feel the things extra more, like even more intense, and at work 2 days ago, yesterday, I had a day off, thank you God, because everything was just too much. I love my work, I love my job, and I love to go there, but it's a long way, and I always have to travel so much. But I like to go there actually because I love my work, but sometimes it's just super exhausting. Okay, no, it's not sometimes, but it's always super exhausting, especially at the end of the day. When I come home, I'm like so done, really. And yesterday I had the day off, so yesterday I could use the time for myself to calm down, to to rest, but it was not possible for me because I have an exam, and so I needed to study for the exam. It's like crazy here, you see, and my whole desk is looking horrible, and I didn't even have time to clean my room, and now it looks clean, but you should not see this side or that side. Because but it's so normal. Like when you're in stress, when you have so many things going on in your life right now, then it's a struggle. It's totally normal. And I want to talk about the normality, or I don't know how you call it, but like the usuality of having stress, but also managing your stress, but also having like a chaotic life right now. But what's the worst thing for me? Like when I do something physical, when I move, or when I work, or when I walk a lot, or when I do my exercises, and when I'm exhausted physically, I can sleep. And then the next day I feel rested, and I can eat something that gives me power, that gives me energy. But what's the worst? The worst thing is when you have something in your head And all the time your thoughts or your your thoughts, actually your mind is telling you, or you have this to study, you have to learn these new things, and you have so many things in your head, and your head is completely full, and you're like constantly talking to yourself, or in the back of your head you can't really focus on something, because in the back of your head there's always something. When I'm at work, and we're learning so many things at work, and for me it's a huge struggle because I'm studying for 3 things at once right now. So at work I'm learning for work, and then at home I'm studying for the university, and then in the evenings I'm using the free time to read a book, to learn that something new, or to work for something else like on my phone. And then you have this single choice questions, and then you click it on your phone and you study something else, and you learn here and there and this and that, and it's a struggle. Okay, I don't know if you're in a similar state or in a similar situation, but if you are, then you feel me, and if you're not, then you should be, because what I want to say here is that the message of today is that when you're young, and it doesn't matter if you're 30 or 40, because you're still young, and it's just all about your mindset. And when you are young, when you have the chance, the possibility to work on yourself, to work for yourself, and to work for your future self, for your tomorrow you, then you should do everything that you can. You should use every possibilities, you should use every chances to work for yourself, to work on yourself, to grow, because you have to leave your comfort zone. For me, I left my comfort zone, and I don't have any comfort zone anymore. I don't know what it is, because I don't have it, because I'm here and there, and I'm going here and there, and I'm meeting so many new people, and I'm learning so many new things. It's crazy, but it's never too much, and you should never be the smartest in the room. And as I said, I like to, and I also like to pretend that I'm stupid, because then people, they want to teach me something, and then they're like telling me more things, and because it's pushing their ego also, kind of, because they feel like they're smarter, but actually I'm pretending to not know it. But it's a nice trick. I mean, you can use it too, because especially as a woman, especially men, tend to think that I don't know the things sometimes, or like the technical things, and then they're like, the technical things here and there and this and that, and then I'm like, okay, what is that? Because then I'm using the chance for me to grow, to learn it, and to just, to know it better, also as an experience, because you never know too much, and that's it. And you can read so many books, you can do so many things, but it's never enough for you. I mean, sometimes it is too much. It can be too much for your body, or for your head, for your mind. Just like me yesterday, I was like crying. Really, I was crying because I couldn't handle it anymore, because it was just too much. But then I was thinking, oh my god, Rookie, wait. You're a big person. You can do it, you can do everything. And actually that's it. It's all about your mindset. It's all about the way you think. You can do it. You can do everything. And yesterday I was talking to my neighbor. I went out for a walk, and I was feeling already super exhausted and bad, and really my face was looking horrible. And then I was talking to him, he had a Harley Davidson, and super nice thing, and huge and super loud, and he was doing the checkup for it, and I was like watching him, and I was talking to him, and we had this little conversation. It was super nice. And then he said, Rookie, you're young, and you're getting older every day. Each day you're getting older, and you will never be this young again. And he's already over 60, I don't know. And he said, Rookie, use every chance. Do it. Go for it, just do it, and do the things that you want to do the things that you want to achieve, achieve your goals, and go after the things that you like. Get out of your comfort zone, travel, go after your hobbies, do something with your friends, learn new things. That's the most important thing, Get out of your comfort zone. And I know I'm repeating myself here, but that's the most important thing. Like, my podcast is all about, love and gratitude, higher frequency, consciousness, and everything, but also to work on yourself, to be better at least 1% every day, okay? And And it's everything. Like, that's, because the purpose of life is development, personal development. And what is better than doing the things that you like? Or what is better than growing? What is better than being better as yesterday, And this is so cool in my opinion, because you're changing, your environment is changing, your perception is changing, your way of thinking is changing, and you're becoming better and better, bigger and better. And he said, you have to go for it, And yesterday I was like, yeah, but I'm super exhausted and I can't do this anymore. Da, da, da. And then he said, Ruki, that's the wrong mindset, And that for me, I know it because that moment was just a moment of weakness, or the whole day yesterday was a day of weakness for me because I was super exhausted and I just needed to rest. But, you have to do the things that you like and, go for it. And I always talk about this, I know, but you always have to try out new things and you have to test yourself, test your limits. And actually there are no limits, because if you put borders for yourself, or if you define borders for yourself or limits, it's all about your mindset, because the limits are only in your head, in your mind. Because when you limit yourself, then obviously it is limiting you, the borders are limiting you because of your way of thinking, because of your ego. But you're capable of doing everything that you want, and you're capable of creating your dream life and creating your future self, your dream future self, And there is one thing. I don't know if you ever heard about Bashar, but I love him and I love following him. I love listening to his podcasts and his speeches because he's great. He's really great. And Bashar has a formula, and I want to talk about that formula today. So first, he says you have to act on your highest excitement. At every moment, choose the option that contains the highest level of excitement, interest, or passion to the best of your ability. Why? Because the states of beings like excitement, interest, or passion, or love, or gratitude, they are vibrating on a very high frequency. And when you're vibrating on a very high frequency, you're shifting, your energy is shifting to a higher frequency, and you will start attracting high frequency things into your life. High frequency people, high frequency opportunities, high frequency food, high frequency chances, high frequency clothes, high frequency flowers. For example, like the roses. The roses, fun fact, they have the highest frequency. And as you can see in the back, I received yellow roses today. And also I stole a white flower from my mom. The second step is take it as far as you can until it no longer excites you. Follow that excitement with no expectation of outcome. When it fades, re-evaluate what the next most exciting option is. Act on it with zero insistence on how it should look. Have no expectations. Don't try to control or manipulate the outcome. Let your higher mind orchestrate the path through synchronicity. Stay in a positive state no matter what manifests, even if what shows up isn't what you expected. Trust that it's part of the process and stay aligned with excitement. Everything is happening for you. Fifth, repeat. Use this formula again and again, moment to moment. This builds momentum and creates a life that reflects your true vibrational signature. And this is the formula to reach your goals, to receive gifts and higher opportunities and high frequency opportunities and better chances for yourself, and to grow and to be a better person, to be a better version of yourself. And to be honest, I'm asking you, what is more important than being better every day and with each new day? You wake up in the morning and first of all, you feel gratitude because you woke up, because God gave you another day. You received that other gift, another day. That's a huge gift. You're healthy, you're beautiful, you're attractive, you have beautiful hair, you have a beautiful body, and if you don't, then go and work for it. Go and improve. Maybe read a book, drink a beautiful morning water in the morning with lemon and salt. Do something for your health. Do something for yourself. Go out for a walk, get some sunlight, and enjoy your life. Enjoy the abundance and prosperity and the joy and the happiness that is all around you, that is surrounding you. You know, I think there is beauty in everything. There is beauty in the rain. There is beauty in the sky, and even in the color of the sky. It's so pretty. And the trees, now it's summer, and then, there is super little cute animals everywhere. I think life is beautiful, and there are so many reasons to love life. And unfortunately, there are so many young people who don't really appreciate the beauty of life or life at all, because they're finding so many excuses and so many bad, negative ways. And, but that makes no sense to me, because some person tells me I have depression, but then I'm thinking, why do you have depression? Because I also had depression when I was 15, 16, but now with my higher consciousness, I understand that something like depression doesn't really exist. That's all made up. The system made it up so they can make money out of you. So they're using you to make money. Like, how much do you pay for therapy? And you go to therapy 3 years, 4 years, 5 years for the rest of your life. And does it really help? No, because no one else can help you when you can't help yourself first. And that's a fact, okay? You have to work on yourself first, okay? You are the only person, you yourself are the only person in your life who can help you yourself, because nobody else can understand you as you understand yourself. You just have to look from inside, like just look at yourself, observe, reflect, write everything down, and always be aligned with your higher consciousness, because we are always, not always, but most of the time aligned with our ego. We are identified with our ego, and that is bad, because that's like very, very low frequency and very low vibration. And right now I'm reading this book I wanted to show you, and it's also, again, Joseph Murphy, because I love that guy. I love him so much. He's so good, like really. And I'm so grateful for the fact that he existed and that he wrote these books. My favorite book is The Alchemist from Paulo Coelho, and then the 2 books of Joseph Murphy. First, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, and then also Believe in Yourself. The book Believe in Yourself, I already introduced that book to you if you listened to my previous episodes. But currently I'm reading this book and I love it so much, because, that guy is a genius. And you know what? Everything that you see on social media about self-development and personal growth, it's all from Joseph Murphy. I'm gonna tell you, like, Joseph Murphy is the root of everything. Dr. Joe Dispenza and Tony Robbins or Bob Proctor, they're all inspired from Joseph Murphy or Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And that's the root. When you read these books, then you don't need anything else. You don't need to listen to any other podcast, because everything you need to know is in this book and in the Believe in Yourself book, because that's everything. Like, when you read these books, when you understand the messages and the meaning behind his words, then you understand everything in life, and even you understand yourself, because everything makes sense and everything has a reason, and you just have to really work on yourself. But you have to put the effort in it, and you have to want it. If you don't want to learn, if you don't want to grow, nothing is gonna work. You have to want it. But the first step is that when you're here, when you're listening to this, that's already the first step, because you're doing something for yourself, because I am here to help you, and I'm here to help myself, because that's why I started this podcast, actually, to help myself to grow, because by reaching my goals, I'm also growing. And that was a big step out of my comfort zone, because I'm actually here sitting in front of the camera and talking to you, even if I don't see you, but you can see me. And that is like sometimes uncomfortable because I see myself on social media, my own face, and it can be uncomfortable sometimes because, it's like, but then I'm like identified with my ego, and then I'm like, but what if other people will judge me, or what if that, what if this? But that's just my ego. But I took the chance, I took the opportunity to start this podcast, to grow and to improve myself and to help you, because when we share what we know and when we share our experiences, when we follow our true purposes, then we will improve life. We will improve the world and the earth, and I will save the earth, indirectly, because when you change yourself, you will change your life and you will change your environment, and that's a fact. And how can you change the world? By changing yourself, micro and macro. And that's the point. And that's physics. Like, that's super easy, and that's the formula. But that's why it's so important to work on yourself, to find your true purpose, and to love yourself, and to believe in yourself, and to love life, and to be grateful for everything. And my last message is that you always have to look from the positive side. You always have to be an optimist and, see everything as a gift, receive everything as a gift. Because, as I said, there can be struggles. Struggles are everywhere. Stress is everywhere. But, it's up to you how you see the things. I use it as a gift. I use it as a way to grow. I use it as an opportunity. I see it as a chance. But other people will see it as the worst thing ever. And then they will be like, oh my God, this is so bad. I have so much stress. I have depression now. But you're just making it up in your mind. You see, that's the difference. Like, that's the difference. If you have depression, you look at me. I have struggles, okay? I'm struggling with my parents. I'm struggling with work. I'm struggling with my university, with my degree. I have an exam, but if I fail, I will lose my title. I can't study anymore. But who cares? Because, life is just the way you create it. If you want to win, you win. You study for it, you work for it, and then you will win. But if you're a loser, if you have this loser mindset, then you lost since the beginning. Because, it's all about your decisions, it's all about your choices, and it's all about your way of thinking. If you think positive, if you're an optimist, and if you tell yourself, I can do it, I will make it, then obviously you will make it. But if you talk negatively to yourself, then you lost since the very beginning. So you choose, okay? You choose consciously. You choose for yourself, and you are deciding for yourself. You choose your own life. You choose your own perception, okay? It's all about mindset. And so I'm wishing you a beautiful day. Always take care of yourself and stay with love and gratitude.